Yo, what's going on, guys? Bitch ass Flakes here for today's video. We have 10 surprising things that could happen in the 2018 NBA playoffs, and 5 that are obvious. So basically, we're going to go through this article, see if we actually think these are things that could happen, or if it's just like a complete bitch ass thing out there that ain't no possible way at all. I've already seen DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry look at that championship trophy, so I have some comments about that, but we'll save that for later in the video. So let's get started on this, see what it's all about. This is an article by Mathis Honorato, on April 14th in NBA. Okay, so yeah, man, it's about 2 days old, but the playoffs have started, so we'll use some of that knowledge to kind of help us with this article here. Number one, we have crazy. OKC wins it all. I don't think this is absolute crazy from the mindset that I don't think this squad is talented enough to do that. I think it would be crazy in the sense of how underperforming this team was during the regular season. Then if they really turn things on and end up winning the whole damn thing, it would be kind of funny. It would kind of go to show just how irrelevant the regular season really is. So that's really the only crazy aspect of it. Now, if you think that it's crazy that Russell Westbrook, Playoff P, and Hoodie Melo out there couldn't win a championship, then I don't know, man. I think it definitely could happen. There's a lot of talented teams out there. But come on, man, that's a freaking super team right there. I know Melo's not as good as he once was, but for a third option, he's pretty damn good. Paul George playing crazy out there in that game one against Utah Jazz. Russell Westbrook averaging a triple-double this season. Not absolutely crazy, just crazy given the circumstance, right? All right, next up we have crazy. Anthony Davis knocks out a super team on his own. Now, I'm trying to think what team that would be, because, like, I totally could see Anthony Davis getting past the Portland Trail Blazers, who are the 3rd seed. The Pelicans are the 6th seed. Now, with that being said, they're not really a super team, right? They're a damn good team, but definitely not a super team. Now, it would be crazy if he went off there and knocked off the Houston Rockets or the Golden State Warriors, but, you know, besides any team besides for that in the Western Conference, it definitely wouldn't be totally shocking just because Anthony Davis is a top 5 player in the NBA, might even be higher than that, right? So, yeah, man, I don't think this one's absolute crazy unless it was the Houston Rockets or Golden State Warriors, just because I feel like after this first round, Anthony Davis by himself would not be enough to, you know, to get past the second round. You definitely need more NBA talent than that. You need more ball movement. You need more guys that can step up to the plate. Now, I will say, playoff round, though, he's a beast. Drew Holiday's looking like he's taking us to another level out there. But, you know, this is saying that he would knock him out all on his own. So that's assuming nobody else is going to help. And I don't think that's the case. Just because I think Drew Holiday is a really good, solid NBA player. So, of course, he would help him out, right? All right, next up, we have obvious. Cleveland wins the Eastern Conference. Okay, so the Cleveland Cavaliers, at the making of this video, lost Game 1 to the Indiana Pacers. I did predict that in my video talking about that series. As far as, like, winning the East, saying it's obvious, I definitely don't want to say that, man. The Eastern Conference is very weak right now. I mean, nobody's going to deny that. I don't think anybody expects the Eastern team to win the NBA playoffs, so I don't think it's obvious because he has to get past the teams. For one, he has to get past the Pacers, who just look like a good built team out there. Nate McMillan's been doing a fantastic job. The Philadelphia 76ers look like, in my opinion, man, the favorites to win the Eastern Conference as of right now. It definitely will not be an easy route. LeBron James has been playing a ton of minutes. That's going to wear and tear on him pretty soon. He's going to need some other teammates out there to step up. So to say this is obvious, I think it's complete asinine. Because it's definitely not as obvious for LeBron James to make it to the finals as it's been in years past. This is kind of an X Factor year. Next up, we got crazy. The Raptors win the Eastern Conference, which is just kind of disrespectful towards the Raptors. I mean, I will say, man, if you're a Raptors fan, I definitely get where you're coming from, saying that nobody gives you respect. Now, in all honesty, that first game, Kyle Lowry didn't look all that great out there. I mean, I know they won the game and everything. But to say that it's crazy that the #1 seed would win the Eastern Conference either shows how overrated people think the Raptors are, or just really how weak the Eastern Conference is, right? So I don't think it's absolutely crazy. I mean, the #1 seed for a reason. And yeah, you can't always look at the years past to kind of indicate how a team's going to do in the future, man. It's a different roster, different mindset. So I don't think it's crazy at all for the Raptors, just because they are one of the most talented teams in a very weak Eastern Conference. So it definitely could happen, you know, in the long run of things, man. It's definitely more of a marathon to get to the NBA Finals, not a sprint. So I think consistency is key, and I feel like superstar players like DeMar DeRozan really do make the difference in the end. Next up, we have crazy. Milwaukee knocks Boston out. I do think this is going to be a deep series. I mean, what a crazy first game that was. First, Terry Rozier hitting what we all thought would be the game-winning three-point shot, and then Chris Middleton bouncing right back with 0.5 seconds and hitting nearly a half-court shot. It definitely will be a good series because Milwaukee does have the more talented roster. Nobody's going to deny that with, Marcus Smart, Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward being out for the Boston Celtics, but the Celtics are a well-coached team. Brad Stevens is one of the best coaches of the NBA. In my opinion, deserves Coach of the Year because of what he's done with such injury and such turmoil throughout this NBA season. But yeah, I totally could see this going to 7-game series. And like I was saying, guys, superstars get it done in the end. You know, if it got to a 7-game series and Giannis did his thing out there, proved that he was a top player in the NBA, yes, I don't think it's crazy. I think it definitely could happen. Next up, we have obvious Rockets and Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, man, this is what I'm predicting right here. I mean, Stephen Curry, when he gets back for the Warriors, that team's going to be even better. You know, James Harden's looking unstoppable out there. I do think the Timberwolves are going to give them some problems in the sense that it's not going to be an easy sweep. I do see that series going to 6, possibly even 7 games. But yeah, man, yeah, obviously the choice out there would be the Rockets and Warriors. I really don't know who else you would put ahead of those guys at this point in the NBA playoffs. Next up, we have crazy Minnesota takes Houston to a 7-game series. I literally just said that I don't think that's crazy at all. For a first-round matchup, like, the fact that the Houston Rockets got a deal with the Timberwolves, that's not really fair, man, because we all know that team is much better than the 8 seed. The only reason they are 8 seed is because Jimmy Butler was out for a good portion of the second half of the NBA season. You know, they'd be a top 5 team if he was there, and they wouldn't be faced until the second round of the playoffs. You know what I'm saying, man? So, definitely not crazy, just an unfortunate circumstance that the Rockets got stuck playing a really good team in the first round of the series. Derrick Rose is actually looking pretty good out there, too. I will say, it's going to come down to defensively, you know, if the Minnesota Timberwolves can stop James Harden at all, like, just at all, man, but I don't see that happening. Karl-Anthony Towns needs to step up a bit, too, like, really, he needs to be the leader of that team. But yeah, man, 7-game series, I see it totally happening. Next up, we have crazy Philadelphia wins the East. No, man, this is currently my favorite team to win the Eastern Conference right now. Ben Simmons looks like a seasoned veteran out there. Joel Embiid, he's out for the first 2 games of the series at the making of this video due to the, concussion and stuff like that, and just, I think, or an orbital fracture. But, no, man, this team's got so much talent on it. It's got so many shooters out there, you know, J.J. Redick, Robert Covington, and Markelle Fultz looking like he's going to be a solid NBA point guard, which, not to mention, man, just like the poise of him off the bench as of right now, this early in his NBA career, Ben Simmons, like I was saying, looking like a glorified superstar out there, bona fide, I should say. No, man, not crazy at all. My favorite team to win the Eastern Conference because unless somebody on the Cavaliers can help LeBron James out, yeah, this is the team I got going to the conference, or to the Eastern Conference Finals, get into the finals, and probably losing to whoever the Western Conference team is. Next up, we have obvious LeBron's final record gets to 3-5. Oh, wait, man. Okay, so I thought he was already 3-5. Guys, okay, whoever made this article, man, yo, guys, somebody fact check this for me. I could have sworn LeBron was already 3-5 in the NBA Finals. Is he 3-4? Yeah, man, I think this is a typo right there. I mean, you might want to say 3-6, but no, man, I think that's an incorrect statement right there. So, yeah. Okay, next up we have crazy Portland makes a run. Well, the defined run right now, because right now they are playing against the Pelicans in the first round. I see that series going very far due to Anthony Davis's play. For me to say they would make a run would mean that they would win the second round of the NBA playoffs. I don't know who's in their bracket. I don't quite remember that. But yeah, I don't see this team quite getting past the second round. I see the second round, you know, if they make it that far, if they get past Anthony Davis who's playing like a monster, I see a second round series going maybe to 6 games out there anyway. But yeah, I guess to say that this team, you know, with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, very talented team, Nurkic looks pretty solid out there too. To get to the Western Conference Finals, that would be crazy to see. I don't think anybody's quite expecting that from this team. I still think they need that third piece, but yeah, okay, so yeah, if that were to happen, it would be crazy. I would not be expecting it. Next up, crazy San Antonio takes the Warriors to 7 games. No, man, I swear, man, this is going to be a sweep. The Spurs look lost out there. Just the mental toll the whole Kawhi Leonard situation has on this team just isn't healthy, man. And, you know, when you're facing a Warriors team like this, you need to be 100% physically and mentally ready. I see this game going, you know, being a sweep, possibly maybe due to Greg Popovich's coaching abilities going to a 5-game series. Ain't no way it's going to take him out in 7 games, guys. Next up, we got obvious James Harden chokes against the Warriors. You know, maybe in years past, I might have said that this is true out there, but the fact that they have such a poised point guard in Chris Paul on the team, I think that will actually take a lot of pressure off of James Harden going into that series. Now, what I think James Harden needs to do going in that series, I do think he needs to defer at times to Chris Paul. He needs to say, okay, I don't need to be the man all the time on this team. You know, sometimes let Chris Paul bring the ball, let him get going on offense, let him get other guys going on offense. Sometimes just, you know, be a set shooter out there, you know, run the ISO and everything like that. So, no, James Harden, if he chokes, it's because of his own doing out there, right? He's got really good teammates, so he just needs to learn, you know, sometimes being a great leader is knowing when to delegate your abilities and your work to other players out there. So, yeah, man, I don't quite see it happening out there, but here we go, man. Next up, we got crazy Indiana knocks Cleveland out after that first game. I will say, LeBron James is LeBron James. Like, there's no denying that. It's like, he's a beast. Nobody really ever expects LeBron James to lose in his own conference. But from a team standpoint, from a team that is built and placed together, the Indiana Pacers have Cleveland beat on that, guys. You like up and down the roster, I will say LeBron's the best player, but I will say Indiana is the better team. I mean, Kevin Love, Miles Turner at this point, it's like, you know, man, I know Caleb can get going at times, so can Miles Turner. Darren Collison, the highest three-point shooting point guard in the NBA this NBA regular season. Victor Oladipo, what more can we say about him besides him being a beast? Bogdanovich looks like he's going to be a problem out there. The bench of the Indiana Pacers seem to work well together, so I don't think it's absolutely crazy to say this could happen. Do I expect it to happen? No, I do not. But if it were to happen, I wouldn't be surprised either. And next up, we have crazy Washington knocks Toronto out. So this comes down to the whole like choking factor or the unclutched factor of the Toronto Raptors. People say in the years past how they don't really perform when it comes to the NBA playoffs. John Wall's looking like, you know, the great player he once was before he was having injuries and things along those lines. But I will say that it would be crazy. This would also be crazy if it were to happen. I think it's the same case as, you know, Houston with the Timberwolves, where I think the Wizards are a better team than the 8th spot. The reason they are 8th is because of John Wall's injuries. And, you know, chemistry issues is going to be a thing out there. But that first game, they looked pretty damn solid. So if they were to knock out Toronto, it's not going to be like a 4-1 series or something like that. It would be in a 7-game series. And the Wizards would just happen to go off that game. So if Washington is to knock out Toronto, it would be a 7-game series. I would not be expecting it. But at the same time, John Wall, Bradley Beal, one of the best backcourts in the NBA. And next up, we have obvious Warriors win it all. At the end of the day, my friends, you know, we love the playoffs. We love talking about it. I talk about it all the time, especially around this time of year. It's just like, it's the topic at hand, right? But when Stephen Curry gets back on that Warriors team, they're going to be a hell of a problem, guys. Draymond Green already said himself that people are forgetting what that team is capable of. So, yeah, it's obvious. I still have the Golden State Warriors winning the 2018 NBA championship. I like to see Houston win it. I like to see maybe the 76ers win it. I like to see LeBron James maybe get another ring. But no, man, at the end of the day, I mean, if I had to bet my life on it, it would be the Golden State Warriors. Guys, let me know your thoughts on all this in the comment section below.